Good, good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So glad you could be with me this Thursday morning, June 30th, the weekend before 4th of July festivities here at Forex Smart Trade. Our goal is to help you become financially independent by teaching you how to currency trade with our super accurate proprietary trading indicators, and we do that by giving you personalized one-on-one training, which we think is the most efficient and effective way to learn currency trading. We offer these live webinars so that you can evaluate how accurate our tools are for yourself. We've got a dozen different trading signals, and as you get further along in your coaching, what we will do is find one that resonates with you and create a trade plan around it. The signal that I like to use is something called the 10-point trade, and we will be doing that in just a moment. First, we have to listen to this guy, and then we'll get going.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
One of the great things about the program is that we do these live trades. When you are in a light program, you get access to kind of a pared down schedule of what's in the yellow. And when you are a regular member, you get, we do a trade in the morning at 10 a.m. It tends to be a scalp trade. We do another live trade at 6 p.m., which is a long-term trade off of a day chart. And then in the evening, we are trading Australian pairs at 10 p.m. So many opportunities to come online, watch an experienced trader trade, learn, and walk away with a trade at the end of the day. We will not be doing Monday's session because it is a holiday, and I probably, if I were you, I probably wouldn't trade tomorrow or Monday, as tomorrow's the day before a holiday. Most U.S. traders will blow out early to make it a 4-day weekend, and then as the banks are closed on Monday, or U.S. banks are closed on Monday, the volume will be slow. When the volume's slow, our indicators don't work as well. So I would skip out on those 2 days. I'm still thinking about, well, I'll take a look tonight as to whether I'm going to send out a trade or not. Chances are I will, because it'll hit, you know, when Europe opens around 2 or 3. But okay, so with that, let's get into it. I trade off of a little off of a checklist. When I start every day, I kind of turn on and off, or turn off and on my green charts. I also make sure my MetaTrader 4 is connected and live. At the end of every day, I am, or the beginning of the next day, depending on how I'm feeling, I do like to audit the trades I've made and kind of figure out what didn't go the way I wanted to, and figure out why, and then add that information into my my toolbox of trading rules. This week, I think we've all of the overnight trade setups that I've sent have hit, and on Monday our Monday evening live trade closed. Our Tuesday evening live trade both closed profitably. So we did very well there. As we are technical traders, we want to know what news is out there because news impacts currency pairs, and we want to be able to trade around that. Our indicators are price action based, and they're very good at predictive, at giving us a predictive indication as to what is going to happen. And but when there's news makes it so that the indicators, the indicators don't include that information and their predictive ability. So we want to know when the news is out there so we can just trade around it. And we do that by looking at forexfactory.com. And today we've got some news on the US dollar at 8:30. News is broken down into kind of three categories. Red is high impact, orange is medium impact, and yellow is low impact. I'm worried about the reds. We've got an all-day OPEC meeting. Generally, the last few years, the OPEC meetings, even though they classify them in red, they I haven't seen them move the market. And as it's an all-day affair, I'm not going to rely on that I'm not going to not trade all day. But knowing that there's a specific item at 8:30, and that is, I like to be out of the item by 2 hours beforehand. So that means we 2 hours beforehand puts us to right now. So we probably won't take a trade on the USD. Core price index, again, I can't predict what this is going to be. Obviously, prices have been going up. I guess the question is whether they're going up greater than the market expects or not. I believe we will continue to see inflation. The gas prices are going to have a ripple effect because everything that we touch moves to get to us. So because the cost of moving things has gone up, that cost will eventually just go into the products that we're buying because it's costing more to get them to us. So we still have a ways to go on the inflation. We're getting off course here a little bit, but if you look back to the 1980s, when we had the kind of the last big bout of inflation, where inflation was up over 10%. At the time, the Fed raised interest rates to 20%. We're at like 5% now. So they had to really kick it up to bring the inflation down. And then that was under Jimmy Carter. And then when Ronald Reagan came in, because of the high interest rates, he had the notion of supply side economics, where he cut the tax rates, even though the inflation was very high and the interest rates were very high. He cut the tax rates so that businesses could reinvest, and that turned out to work. Inflation started coming down and the economy picked up, and we had a situation where you had both high inflation and high unemployment at the same time, which before that time, economists said that couldn't happen. But anyway, so we're getting off track. These are all things outside of our control. So let's go to what we can control, and that is our indicators. Even though we're not going to trade on the USD this morning, let's just take a look and see what's here. I am using the light 6 major chart. The light 6 major chart is one of the standard charts. I like to call it a composite chart because it's showing us 6 different currency pairs, all on a 1-hour chart. On a 1-hour chart, a trade is going to be worth anywhere from 5 to 35 pips. So we're going to start with the middle section, which is what we call the majors and the minors. The red and green line is the major indicator. The black and gray line is the minor indicator. Horizontal red line is the oversold line. A horizontal blue line is the overbought line. And the indicator makes it very visually simple to figure out when there's a good trade. Basically, if these lines are below the red line, the market's oversold. That's a time to buy. When the lines are above the blue line, the market's overbought. That's a time to sell. And specifically, when they're overbought, we want the lines pointing down. When we're oversold, we want the lines pointing up. On the Australian US dollar, we are in the middle of the channel approaching oversold, so we're going to pass. Euro USD oversold going down. Our majors are going down. Minors have started to turn. We want everybody going up. Pound USD, everybody's going down. Oversold, everybody's going down, so it's not ready. US Canadian dollar overbought. Majors are going sideways. Minors are still going up. Dollar Swiss franc overbought. Majors going up. Minors have started to turn. And US yen. We are just reaching overbought, and it looks like they've got a little jump here. You can see we had a up. The slope of this green line is important on the majors. We went from more steep to less steep to more steep. When the slope, when we get this little kink, and all of a sudden you saw there was an up movement to more steep to even greater steepness, and when you see that kink, that's a good move. Now, can you take a move? Can you take a buy when you're in the middle of the channel? Yes, you can. I myself don't, because I want to minimize my risk and my exposure as to how long I'm tied up in a currency pair. And here, if I take a trade in the middle of the channel, now sometimes I'll do this on the Euro USD because I'm not just looking at the hour chart. I am looking at other time frames also. But on this trade, I don't know how much more is left in the move up. Whereas if I catch a trade down here and able to get the run through the channel, I am pretty confident that I can get my 10 pips or at least 10 pips within the 1 to 3 hours, so I can get in and get out. So we're going to pass here. I've cloned this chart, so basically copying it, and it just dropped in different currency pairs. These are non-US pairs. Euro pound oversold going down. Australian dollar yen, middle of the channel. I probably wouldn't trade this at this time of day because it's evening in both of those markets. I want at least one market to be morning time. Euro Canadian dollar oversold going down. Australian dollar New Zealand. All right, so this is a signal that we're looking for. So we're oversold. Everybody's going up. So point 1 is we're oversold. Point 2 is everybody's going up. And point 3 is that the green line is crossed over the red, and the gray line is crossed over the black. I also like this because of the slopes on the lines. So on the green line, we're going from less steep to more steep, and the same on the gray line. Although I care more about what the red and green line are doing than the black and gray line. I want them in agreement, but what the red and green line are doing is driving my decision. When I get 3 points here, um, uh, uh, I will then jump up to the TNTs. I want to see that the major line is below this, the halfway line. I don't mind that the minor line is shot up and basically gone through the channel. I'm going to count how many of the lines up here on the TNT agree with the buy signal that I'm seeing here. The 2 orange lines agree, and the 2 blue lines agree. When blue goes down, that means buy. Blue lines are inversely related. So when blue's going down, so all 4 are telling me buy. I want to have a minimum of 3 out of the 4 lines telling me buy. And on the pressure, I've got sideways pressure. I want the lines either going up or I want the green line on top. So we don't have the point that we need here. I've got 3 points here, 4 points here. I want at least 1 point here. Each of these sections are measuring something different. And when I can get agreement across all 3, I've got the probability of a high probability of a good trade happening. I don't have that here. I do like that the green line is going up on the pressure, but it's not over the top of the red. It will be. The lines are converging. They're getting closer, but this trade isn't quite ready yet, in my opinion. Plus, it's evening in Australia and New Zealand, and generally it's going to take longer for these lines to move through the channel to get my my pips, whatever I determine that they're going to be. And I'd rather find a pair that's actively trading now so I can get in and get out. So this is good. This is good. We don't have it here on the pressure. Pound yen, we're just kind of stuck kind of in the middle going sideways here. Euro Australian dollar oversold and going sideways. So let's go to another group. Canadian dollar, yen. This is not a bad signal, but we're more than halfway, so I'm going to pass. We do have 3 out of the 4 here. The thin orange is going up. The 2 blues are coming down. The thick orange is maxed out, and it's been maxed out the last 2 hours. And we do have down pressure with the green on top. So we do have 7 points here, 1 point here, 3 points here, and 3 points here. I'm going to hold off on this. We'll write it down. Canadian dollar, yen, buy, because the green line is over the halfway mark. I'd like to see if we can find something where we're catching it down here versus halfway. Euro New Zealand dollar, oversold. Everybody's going up, and I just about have the double cross. It looks like the green line is just crossing over the red, and the gray line is crossed over. So 3 points here, 2 orange lines going up, the thick and the thin, dotted blue coming down. So I've got 3 of the 4 here, but I don't have the pressure yet. I've got down pressure, and the lines are converging. And here, on that previous page, the green line was sloping up, even though it hadn't crossed over the red. that's that's a better indicator that the market's going up than this, even though the lines are converging. Pound New Zealand dollar, oversold. Everybody's going up. I've got the double cross, so 3 points here. Nice steepness on this green line. It's greater than 45 degrees. 2 orange lines going up, thin blue going down. So I've got 3 out of the 4 here. And I have very weak up pressure here. Very weak up pressure. Great Britain pounds, New Zealand dollar. So we've got 7 points. When we have 7 points, going back to my trade routine, I'm looking for the setup. So that's what we've been doing the last 10 minutes, is trying to find a setup on the 1 hour chart. Now I want to confirm the setup on the 2 and 4 hour chart. So to confirm the setup on the 2 and the 4 hour chart, we're going to go over here. And I am going to, so this chart is just on one pair, but it's got multiple time periods. So I've got a 2 minute, a 30 minute, a 1 hour, a 2 hour, a 4 hour, and a day. And I'm going to look at the 2 and the 4 hour. So let's pop in the Great Britain pound, NZD. And basically what I want to see on the 2 and the 4 hour, so this is what we were just looking at. I want to see that the 2 hour and the 4 hour are both oversold. The 2 hour, we're just about oversold. It didn't get into the oversold territory, but you can see it's turning here. The green line is kind of horizontal and up. Why I want this to be oversold is if this signal weakens or changes, if this is oversold, I'm still going to get the up move eventually. If it's in the middle of the channel coming down or up here, I don't have consistency. So right now, this is telling me this there could be a little bit more down in the move. Here we have on the 4 hour, we are oversold. And in fact, we're going up. It doesn't need to be going up. I just want it oversold. Going up is like an added benefit. I don't pay as much attention to, say, the pressure on the 4 hour, but I do like that the green line is crossing over the red line. Usually when the green line crosses over the red line, we see a green candle, which is what we're seeing here. Here we've got kind of sideways pressure with green on top. I'd rather see this a little bit lower than it is. I'd rather see it under the red line. Let's take a look at the next piece of my analysis. I'm still not sure I'm entirely sold on this, is what's the trade worth. So let's save this real quick. And we will go to what I want to do is look at a chart with just the candles on it. And I don't know why we're not getting that. Come on. We're waiting. Waiting. All right, I want just the candles on it, and I'm going to go here. All right. So we're going to go back to our 1 hour chart. Sorry, this is going a little slow here. Come on, brother. We're going to go to Great Britain Pound, NZD. Great Britain Pound, NZD. Come on. Let's try again. Great Britain Pound, NZD. Let's try adjusting this. Also, we're going to take all this stuff off. I want to see just the candles. All right, and there we go. So what I'm going to do is tighten the chart up. I want to know where the support and resistance are. Support and resistance are spots where the candles seem to naturally stop. So I'm going to just hand draw them in. If it's a pair that I trade regularly, I have it pre-drawn and saved on the chart. But I don't normally trade this. So like right in here, over here, over here, over here, over here. On the euro dollar, these tend to be about 30, 40 pips apart. So right in here, over here, here. I want to know where these spots are because the pair naturally will stop. The price movement will naturally stop on these spots. So if I know where they are, I can take my take profit within the line, and I won't have to wait for a long time for it to break through the line because I want to get in and get out. Now, one of the things I want to know is what the trend is. And so here we had a little bit of an uptrend the last week. Then we had a day of down or half a day of down, a little up, a little down. So it's kind of stuck in these three periods here. So while we're talking, this is going down when we were seeing an up move. So we'll just save this and go back and look at our indicator. That 2 hour, all right, and we can see that the signal is weakened. You know, this was clearly going up, and the down on the 2 hour, it's still pushing down. the down on the 2 hours pushing down, and the pressure's turned down. So I was saying before, I want to see this all the way down here. I want to see it, and now the candle has changed, and we are down here. We're into the next hour. But we no longer have the signal. We no longer have the signal. In 30 minutes, if we have the signal, I like seeing this on the 2 and the 4 hour. If I had the signal, I would have liked this. But this 2 hour, when we were looking at it last hour, was still coming down. Now it's oversold, and now so as I said, this may change, and if this changes, we'll pick up the trade off of the 2 and the 4. But the whole signal has changed while we were looking at it. Both the 2 orange lines are coming down, and the pressure's going down, where before we had the pressure going up. So that is a trade. While we were doing our analysis to figure out what it's worth, the signal changed, so we didn't end up taking the trade. Also, what I didn't like about this trade is these lines have changed since when we were looking at them. What I didn't like about the trade is we were looking at taking a buy, and we were just below this resistance line last hour. And I don't like to take a trade when we're sitting just below the resistance line. So even had we had the signal, I probably wouldn't have taken it because we were just sitting below this. And while we were sitting below it, it kept going down. So this morning, gang, we didn't find a trade worth taking. That sometimes happens. It's not about always being in the market. It's about you only need 2, 3, 4 good trades a day to be able to make good money trading. And we want to be selective on the trades that we take, where we can get in and get out, and then have the capital available to do another trade. If you've got more than 2 trades going, you've tied up. You've got to wait till something opens up to take another trade. So again, the best trade sometimes is the trade that we don't take, but we did our analysis. We can feel good that we missed what would have been a bad trade. All right, King, let's see if we got any questions. Okay, no questions. Have a good holiday weekend. Be safe. I would avoid trading tomorrow and Monday. And on Monday, we will not be doing a live trade session. We'll reconvene Tuesday morning. All right, have a good one. Thanks so much for being here. We're here to help. If you have any questions, go back to your coach or schedule an appointment with me. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.